on guys, JB Lion back with another video. Little bag, what's this doing here? Oh, sorry about that. A bit of a clutter in the background, even though this whole room's a clutter. But yeah, let's get straight into this video. Back in sort of similar territory, I guess you could say. Back in the homestead of my bedroom rather than a car or a hotel room. I'm back in my room, thank God. But yeah, let's get into the games this week. So we had, if you don't know by now, I'm looking at the scores on my phone, just so you're aware, for anyone who's new around here. So we had the games of Inter vs Cagliari. Firstly, I want to say that Inter shirt that they wore, the special edition Rossi shirt, delicious. I think I would have preferred it on the black and blue with the green stripe, but the white one with the stripe, it still looks very good. But yeah, the game ended 3-1. Marko Arnautovic, he just came out of nowhere. He got a start, which kind of expected, given, you know, we've got the second leg of the Champions League against Bayern Munich this week. But he got the start, and oh my God, what a corker of a game Arnautovic had. Let's take our hats off. Threw back me to the Stoke days, you know, when Arnautovic had the little man bun and he was absolutely bowling out for Stoke. But what an assist to Lautaro. But firstly, his finish on his goal, what a finish. Emphatic, I'll have you know. And then the turning ball and then just the ball through to Lautaro for him to dink it over the keeper. Absolutely chef's kiss. But fair play to Arnautovic. And obviously, Inzaghi made me laugh because as soon as he put the ball in and scored, he just grabbed Arnautovic and started squeezing him. So fair play to Inzaghi. But yeah, the game ended 3-1. Obviously, we went 2-0 up and I thought, coasting, looking good, looking like we're knocking the ball round, looking comfortable. And then I think it's Piccoli scored. And it was just sort of out of the blue, out of nowhere. But it's kind of to be expected when you come against Cagliari. So one of those teams that they don't seem to offer much, but they have that quality and depth in their squad that they can just pull a goal out of anywhere. So when Piccoli scored, it got a bit prickly. That word did there, a bit crap, but got a bit prickly from Piccoli, and then later on, perfect ball in again, and Bissek on the end of it to absolutely thump the header home. And to be fair, a well-deserved 3-1. I think we deserve to win it, pushing on now to the title. I know a lot of people were saying, you know, it's definitely between Inter and Napoli. Obviously, at this moment in time as we're talking, Napoli are drawing 0-0. So if it stays that way, then Inter are quite comfortable, can't rest on their laurels yet, but they're quite comfortable. They'll be on 71 and Napoli will only be on 66. Inter really showing their dominance, really, depth in squad and things like that. So, which is fair play. I know they had a bit of a sort of injury. Was it an injury? Yeah, they had an injury to Zielinski. And then obviously they had to bring on Bastoni, which I don't think they wanted to do. I think they ideally wanted to rest him for the Champions League game, but sometimes you have to. It was good to see DiMarco get a good run out as well, going into Champions League, and then yeah, we just looked amazing as we always did. So fair play, Inter well and truly pushing on now to hopefully get that championship. But now we move on to the calamity Chelsea. I'm joking. I love Chelsea to bits. I never, you know, because Inter's doing good, it's easier to talk about Inter because they're playing so well, but Chelsea will always be my number one love. But yeah, they had a game against Ipswich. We've already lost to Ipswich this season, and I thought 2-0 down, it's going to be again. Ipswich going to be that team that are going to absolutely smoke us, not once, but twice. Given the position Ipswich are in, which is 18th as we talk, basically going to get relegated. How we made it so difficult for ourselves, I can't tell you. Obviously, both of Ipswich goals were kind of on the counter and against the run of play. So, at least that kind of goes in our favour. Other than that, we were playing really well. We was extremely dominant against Ipswich. I thought, you know, we don't deserve this, what we're getting. We don't deserve to be being beat, because I thought we actually played pretty well in the first half. We couldn't hit a barn door. Well, actually, we did. We hit the post, so technically it's some sort of woodwork. But yeah, I thought, you know, we looked all right. And then, yeah, like I said, 2 counter goals. Fair play to Ipswich playing like that. 2 good goals that they finished. And then obviously we got lucky because they basically scored an own goal. But if the defender didn't touch it, Cucurella was there, so it would have counted either way. But obviously got one back, and then Jordan Sancho out of absolutely nowhere belts one in into the back of the net. So it's kind of, yeah, it's 2-2. We should have won it, definitely. Like I said, we played well. We kept hitting the post. Obviously, their goalkeeper, Palmer, he had an absolute blinder. But you can't be using excuses when we're a team like Chelsea, you know. We're just a bunch of, like, at this point, I'm kind of convincing myself everything's okay. But I think if all the teams below us or better, like United, Spurs were all on fire, I think we'd be a lot lower than we are. I do understand what people are saying, you know. We had the choice of all these managers and we chose Maresca, you know, a championship who's only been in the job 2 years. But I do think he's the right man for the job. Do I think he's the man that's going to win us something? Who knows? We haven't actually, you know, been in the position where we've had this problem where we, you know, we have to see if he's going to win something. Personally, I think we should. And I say this because we should be winning that Conference League, and we should be the first team in London, or first team, I think, ever. Actually, I don't know. But first team in London for sure to win the Champions League, Europa League, Super Cup, and now the Conference League, the 4. But who knows? Obviously, you've still got Real Betis in it and Fiorentina, who are both, like I said before, they're both decent sides, so they're the only teams I think might cause us a problem, but only time will tell, really. But I believe in Maresca. I think he's got he's got the squad where it is, and I think people need to actually appreciate that. He's picked up a squad that was left in the dumps basically before he joined, and he's had to pick it up and basically remould it and get the team firing again, which he has done. So fair play to the lad. Even if you want to get rid of him by the end of the season, I think he's done a hell of a job to come in and actually bring some belief back into Chelsea fans. And I think Chelsea fans need to appreciate what of a job he's kind of done, really. He's come in and, you know, thrown down the gauntlet to certain players, mixed it all up, thrown out a few players that don't need it. I think personally, in my opinion, give him one transfer window to get in a striker he wants. If he can't do it after he's had his transfer window, you know, give him half a season, if you want to say. See how he does in the Champions League if we make it, or even in the Europa League. I can see a lot of people saying, oh, you know, if we don't get Champions League, then he needs to be out, which, you know, is people's opinion. But in my opinion, I think he needs longer than that. But we'll see. Only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. But thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. Like I always say, I'm trying to be as consistent as I can for you lot. I hope you're all enjoying the videos. Our next video will be the Champions League review. I think it's... no, not tomorrow. Inter play Wednesday and Chelsea play Thursday, so we'll just see you guys then, I guess. The review will probably be out on the Friday like it usually is, but I hope you're all enjoying these videos. Thanks for all the new subs. Like I said, I'm trying to hit 100 subs by the end of the year, so if you could just let anyone know, I'd be much appreciated, because I think I can do it, hopefully. But yeah, thank you so much all for watching. Really appreciate you spending your time watching my time. Yeah, you know what I mean. But yeah, if you want to leave your comments, likes, all that stuff in there below. I've been JB Lion. Thanks for the dudes, dudettes, and everyone else who's been watching. Ciao, ciao.